Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another great edition of No Love Philly, the podcast dedicated to artists, activists, musicians, comedians, breweries, performers, anybody that makes Philadelphia and the surrounding area awesome. This episode, we find ourselves in Northern Liberties at Soy Cafe, where we interview the synth pop duo Camp Candle. They are super awesome duo. Ran into them online in one of the Philadelphia DIY Facebook groups. And Camp Candle was created by longtime friends Hetepsa and Nura, who met at WB Sowell High School. We talked about their first show and how they were able to sell out that first show. We talked about setting up gigs here in Philadelphia in general, what that's like. They recently worked out a deal with Manimal Vinyl, and we actually talked to them about working with the guy that owns it, Paul, who has worked with everybody from Moby to Yoko Ono. And we also briefly got a hint about their upcoming EP, Light, which is supposed to come out later this spring. So Camp Candle is set to perform this Thursday at Bourbon and Branch with Long Spells and Strange Parts. I highly recommend that you check it out. They seem to have a super awesome live, energetic show. And it's going to be an awesome night. It's this Thursday, March 23rd at Bourbon and Branch. I believe they alluded to some shows that they're going to be performing in April as well. But you can find out more about these guys at wearecampcandle.com. But do make sure that you look out for their upcoming EP, Light. Check them out on YouTube, Camp Candle on YouTube. Yeah, and make sure that you head out this Thursday, March 23rd, to Bourbon and Branch to check these bands out. I really enjoyed speaking with these two. I think that they're just a fun group of people to hang out with, and just awesome folks, man. So definitely check them out this Thursday, March 23rd at Bourbon and Branch. And I won't even waste any time. Let's just get into it. Welcome back, everybody. Bye-bye. All right, here we are with Camp Candle. We are at the Soy Cafe. You guys are doing awesome stuff, man. Thank you so much for getting on No Love Philly. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us out.
Why don't you
definitely appreciate being on Love Philly.
All right, why don't you start off with names and what your role is in the group?
Cool. So I'll go first. I'm Hetepsa. Is where I'm trying to look at you and also the camera. I'm Hetepsa. I am the singer and songwriter of the group, and then play a little bit of guitar. Yeah.
My name is Nura, or Mark. My mom named me Mark, so she was like, I'm gonna call you Mark. But I'm the producer, co-songwriter, engineer. Also mix and master our own stuff right now, which is temporary, but we gonna get it popping. That's what we're gonna do.
So you're the one that's making all the beats on every single one of those tracks.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Those are amazing. So me and the family actually once you shot me the link, I just started checking stuff out right away, and I fell in love with it immediately.
I appreciate it, man.
Such a different sound for that I would expect to hear in Philly, period. So what I've been seeing a lot is a lot of folk rock, a lot of rock and roll kind of stuff. So first off, the first question that I have for you guys is, how did you guys form? How long have you guys been in existence, and how did that come together?
Okay, well, we've known each other since high school, since freshman year. Yeah. 03. Our 10-year reunion is this year. Woo! I don't think we're going to have one. But, yeah, we've known each other since then. And, I'll let you get into your history a little bit. I can start with mine, and then we can kind of bridge together. But I started playing guitar. I got a guitar for 8th grade graduation. So I've been writing really crappy, folky songs since 9th grade. And then I quit guitar for years. But as far as music goes, I've been into music since I was a little kid. And I've always written songs and poems. But and I think I really got serious about songwriting when I went to college. And I really got serious about playing guitar. So I started to practice. I still don't practice as much now, but I started to practice. and I'm really actually writing good lyrics in college. So a couple years ago. But one day I was on Twitter and he was, working with this artist, producing for this artist, and he had tweeted out, "Hey, somebody come to the studio, on board." And I just came down to the studio and I brought my acoustic guitar. It's a classical Sears guitar, but I don't play classical guitar. That's how great of a guitarist I am. I just play it like a regular guitar. And we worked on something that day, right? Yeah, we worked on something that day. A couple of my songs that I had written that were just really bad. We just tried to switch it up. But we started out working on other people's music. I would just either come down and hang out, or we'd actually start to write stuff or create together. Whether, me writing something or coming up with a melody idea, or him writing something and coming up with a melody idea, and just bouncing ideas off each other. So that was like 2012. Yeah, it was 2012 because it was after the Monsters and Men concert I went to. Yeah, so 2012, we started working together on someone else's project. But it wasn't until we did songs like on our own, like for fun. Yeah, but it wasn't until like 2014, like where Camp Candle was actually born. We actually performed at like kind of a bunch of our friends had this festival, and we surprised everybody and performed together as Camp Candle, a song that no one will ever hear. And then we started, it was 2 songs that no one will ever hear. And then the next year, so 2015 is when we got really super serious about it. And that's kind of, when it came from, but he can talk a little bit about his background.
Yeah. So, we met each other in high school, 9th grade. We went to, we're Philly natives, so we went to Saul High School here in Philadelphia, which is, everybody refers to it as the animal school or whatever, the farm school. You went to school on a farm.
I was actually going to send my when we lived in Manayunk.
Oh, you lived in okay.
We were trying to figure out how we could get my daughter to go to that school. She loves animals.
Yeah.
We just couldn't find the house for what we wanted to do. But go on.
I mean, I don't know. For me, like when I went to Saul, I had like a slight love for animals, but when I went to Saul, I was just like, I'm done with animals. Like they had two sides of Saul where you can either do the animal thing or you can do horticulture, which I chose to do horticulture because plants really don't like bite or like kick you and stuff like that. Some of them stink, but not the majority of them don't. So yeah.
Did any of that affect what you do today?
One of the things about the school that affected me is that we had a lot of free reign to, kind of roam around and kind of experience and appreciate the environment. My mom kind of pushed me to go to Saul. She's like, you need to go to Saul. I wanted to go to like Kappa or, Washington. They had a little music program at Washington. It was I didn't get accepted at Kappa, but I got accepted at Washington's music program. I really wanted to do that, but my mom was like, no, you're going to Saul. So, around the time, I really started to amp up my appreciation for different types of music, and it kind of just went well with the atmosphere. Like, she'll tell you, I was like into goth music and stuff like that. I still am, but it's like I really developed the appreciation for different types of music during my high school years, and then it transferred over into what we do now, in Camp Candle. I've been working on music since maybe like 8th grade. My mom bought me like this Yamaha drum thing, and we had a Mac, iMac, and they had like different programs on the iMac that I would use, and make songs about stuff that I wasn't supposed to be making songs about with my friends. Yeah, I really started taking like music serious around like 2012 when we when I did send out that tweet like, hey, I'm at the studio, somebody come down, because I was working with this artist here in Philadelphia, and it just got to a point where doing other people's music wasn't my passion. I wanted to do something that I could really be appreciative of, like, here's my offering to the world, instead of doing something for somebody that's, they're saying like shake your booty and whatever else. I mean, that's cool, but that's not something I wanted to do.
So when we talk about goth music, what are we looking at? Skinny Puppy, Apex Twin. What are we? I mean, what are we looking at? Or is it just the standard Marilyn Manson, Slipknot?
I'm more ethereal goth. I'm more like, early Cocteau Twins, and I'm more like I'm a really big Cocteau Twin fan. I like Susie and the Banshees, and like maybe the Shenigration era Cure.
Okay.
I'm not really going all the way into the plethora of things that I listen to, but that's kind of just like, I really like ethereal music. Like I think one of my favorite songs that we've done is the Birthday Circle, just because I captured that ethereal sound that I really enjoy. Like and we both enjoy this song. I think that's our favorite song.
That's our favorite song.
You would agree?
Yeah, that's definitely our favorite song. These people really trying to get me. Okay.
And Brianna, what are some of your musical influences?
I listened. It's interesting because I think we have similar tastes, but also obscure tastes on the other ends of spectrums. But he'll put me on to stuff that I've never heard before, and I'll love it. And I'll put him on some things that he's never heard before, and he'll love it. But I definitely like pop music a lot. Now, when I say pop, we're not talking about like pop from the 80s. I mean, like even today, pop music, anything that's really for me is anything that makes me feel good, feeling. So, one day I could be with him listening to The Cure, other day I would listen to Mariah Carey. So it's just like, I don't discriminate when it comes to music. I find that a lot of musicians and, music critics are kind of, really, I don't know, they're exclusive in their tastes and they look down on other people if you listen to this person, but I listen to any and everything, you know what I mean? Like, if I look back on, you're saying like 8th grade is really a time for you and 9th grade is really a time for you where you really got into music and the different avenues, in 8th grade for me, it was the Dixie Chicks. It was John Mayer, Michelle Branch, like, that type of popular music. But also at the same time, I was really into Linkin Park, and that's something we could share. And we could still rock out to some Linkin Park today. But I was more into, I guess, indie rock and even classic rock, like indie rock, like the Veils, things like that. So I think that's kind of where our tastes might differ, and where you don't really listen to much classic rock. It doesn't really do much for you. You know what I mean? But I can, and he doesn't listen to country. I can listen. I don't even say country. I'll say the Dixie Chicks. That's pretty much where it stops for me. But I'll listen to anything. Hip hop is something we both have a strong love of. Pretty much anything from the 80s. I think the 80s is probably one of the best time periods for music. To me, also rock from the 60s, but that's kind of where we defer again. But I'll listen to anything, really. So
I have to agree with you, though. I like the Animals, but also like NWA. So what are you going to do?
It's like we're all over the place. We're both the same, where it's like we can appreciate if it sounds good, if it feels good, or if it's saying something, we can appreciate and grasp something from it. So it's not about like, oh, I don't listen to that genre. It's like, no, this is some cool stuff. Like, we both love Bjork. It's like, Bjork is dope. Like,
so where did you guys, so I know you guys went to high school in the Roxborough, Manayunk area, but where did you guys grow up?
We both grew up in like the Northwest Philly, Mount Airy, Uptown, West Oak Lane sector. Like, I've kind of lived all over Germantown, West Oak Lane, Nicetown. But he's mainly from like Uptown, like as far as West Oak Lane and Mount Airy. But yeah, both up Northwest Philly. Yeah.
So where did the name Camp Candle come from?
Yeah, go for it.
So we had a few songs that we were working on during like 2012, 2013, and we kind of just would meet up and just like make music. And one day we just came up with the idea, like, wait a minute, why don't we do music as an entity? And we just sat down and started throwing ideas out there. At first, we were going to call ourselves Candle 6.
Was it Candle 6 or was it Candlebox 6?
Candle something. Candle, I don't know.
Candlebox is already a band.
Yeah, I know.
I think it might have just been Candle 6.
Yeah, Candle something. I don't know. And then we were like, Camp Candle. It's like, that has a ring to it. I don't know. It's Camp Candle.
It was random.
Yeah, it was just really random. It wasn't like, we contacted the gods for the name as soon as we like got it or something. It was just, I don't know.
Initially, it was random. We wanted the candle because of the light aspect, but the camp was just like, he randomly, what about camp candle? I was like, oh, that sounds good. But, it kind of developed a meaning for itself. Whereas now, the camp candle, it's like a camp of candles. You can light 1,000 candles from the flame of one candle, So, we're not looking to be the sun in this industry, in this realm that we're, partaking in now. But, a candlelight is just fine because we can use our light to inspire one other person who can inspire somebody else, and it's just pass the light on that way, and a bunch of candles can light up the world. So it's a camp of candles. So
I need a light that's going to make this video pop. That's what I need, because nothing I'm doing is working. I keep trying everything under the sun. So awesome, man. So yeah, I thought that was a unique name. I couldn't place it. And I was, thinking, is there anything in Philly like that, or like a camp candle? Or
no, it was completely, like I said, the light part. We were going with that, but it didn't really, mean anything, at that time. It was kind of random. It grew with its own. As we grew together and grew with what we were doing and what we were saying musically, the meaning kind of took on itself. Because at first we were like, okay, it's just camp candle. It's just random, but then it just actually grew to what it is now. So.
So where are you guys playing? Like, where do you guys? What's your? And how often are you playing live shows?
Well, the last live show we played, we opened up for a band from Montreal named Diana, and that was at Boot and Saddle. That was like last November. After that, we did like a little radio segment at WXPN. We're trying to get a few shows going, for the next couple months. We really haven't been playing live shows as much as we like, but last year definitely was a year where we picked it up, and definitely want to do more shows this year. Ultimately, we really want to play like festivals like Coachella and things like that. That's where our eyes are set, like getting out of the tri-state and really just exploring the world. I know she wants to do Glastonbury and, and things like that. Like, I want to do Lollapalooza and Pitchfork Festival and things like that. I just want to be able to explore the world and take my family with me. I lived in Philly all my life. Just this year I went to Disney World. I have never been to Disney World, so I just want to do something different, just get out and explore stuff.
So have you guys, you're talking about getting out of the tri-state area, but have you guys performed at have you guys hit up New York? Have you hit up Jersey? Are you guys pursuing shows? Are you guys doing any small tours?
Okay, so we just finally put a lot of energy in what's it called? What's that website? Sonic Bids, yeah, and we actually applied to play a show at this. It was in Brooklyn, right? At a it's in New York. It's a venue in New York, so that will be our first event actually in New York. So we're pushing towards, because we have to kind of build a foundation there. You can't just randomly like, oh, we're just going to play here and then 2 people show up. So we're that's going to be our first little tiptoe out into New York, and then I actually applied to a couple places in Jersey as well. So, and we're going to try to do some of these smaller festivals, the hometown things, because I think that's a great way to build an audience and actually get in touch with people at these smaller places, and then it feels more like a family more than a job. So, but yeah, I mean, I think the furthest we played the festival in Delaware last summer, which was a lot of fun, down in Arden, Delaware. But we're trying to get out there. So I've been looking at things in New England, and because I went to school up in New England, so it's like I know that'll be a great venue, like a venture for us, is just to get out there, and it's a nice vibe out there. So we're working to get out there. We just have to either create the interest or go where the interest lies for us. So yeah.
I just wanted to say something really quickly. One of the things that has been apparent with us over the last 2 years is that we don't have any like management. We've been kind of doing things on our own, I guess because we're not like performing shows all the time, and there wouldn't be really any reason for a manager to like be here right now. But it's just like, as soon as we get more interest, we're gonna be like bam, 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 bam shows all the time. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, yeah, I want to do a show. Like, I just want to perform. Like, I just want to get on stage. Like, I used to hate it before, but now I'm like, yo, I love stage. Like, it's the
so
best.
I think a big part of building that interest is constantly hitting up shows and performing shows, and I've seen you guys as well briefly. I saw video of your live show, and you guys had like you brought out a drum kit, and tell me a little bit about that. It seems like a super dope show, and so I'm surprised to hear that you're not playing more of them. And I'm surprised the answer that I thought for sure the answer I was going to get is, Shane, we're playing every week. We're like, well, you can catch us here next week. We're doing that, but tell us a little bit about your live show. What's that like?
Yeah, so, we don't want it to just be like, okay, here's some songs that y'all know the songs, and now we're just gonna play it on stage. Like it's an experience, It's fun. Like when we're together as friends, we have a blast, we have fun, and we want to share the experience with everyone else, as well as the music. It's really about the experience. You might be having the worst day ever, and you take a break from that for 2 hours and come hang out with us. So that one of the last shows, not the Diana show, but we played Boot and Saddle for our own show previous to that. We had bubbles and glow sticks, and it was just fun, and it's nice because our music is really track based with live elements in it. When you listen to it, but the live experience, I think, us playing drum live, me playing guitar live, eventually him playing the bass live, it creates, it's not just, oh, this is the song, you know what I mean? It's the experience, it's the live performance, it's going to be heard away, you're not going to hear it, on an MP3. So it's just a lot of fun, and we like to have people sing along with us and just dance around and just be goofy, be ourselves. I think what's different from us is that we don't really have personas as artists. It's just, what you're hearing in the music and what you're seeing on stage is just, that's our personalities. And the live experience is just that. You're experiencing Camp Candle. You are a part of Camp Candle. We say we are Camp Candle, and that's not just he and I. That's everyone that's incorporated. It's kind of more of a movement than just us making music. It's, like you said, you were kind of having a crappy day and you listened to the song and you kind of, felt better. And it's just like, that's what we're going for. So we want to make it infectious. The joy that we're bringing out, we want everyone to walk away from the experience feeling inspired, to inspire someone else to feel better. I just want to see people smile, really. So.
We were talking about the live show, right?
For sure, yeah. If you describe your live show,
well, for me, just kind of piggybacking off of what she was speaking about, the live show being really an experience. Like this is one of the reasons why I'm like, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, yo, I want to get on stage today, because it just feels good, It's just like this, for the first time in my life, performing something that I actually believe in. I'm getting this rush now. It's like, this feels amazing. People are singing along with the songs, and, it's just certain moments where, kind of just go to a whole nother place. I get the same feeling when I listen back to our music. I get the same feeling when we're performing. It just feels good, and people see that, like I remember when we first put out our first video, Weapons, everybody was just like, oh my God,
that's such a good song.
Thank you.
God, that is such a good song.
Go
on. Sorry about that.
Everybody was like, oh my God, this, we really love it. This is amazing. When we performed it, it was the same thing. It's like, it just felt good. I was like, for the first time, Camp Candle is so powerful. My dad really hasn't been in my life like that. This brought my dad back out. I was like, oh my God. Like, it's amazing, I really appreciate everybody listening to what we're doing, because I can't describe it.
So let's talk about Weapons a little bit. So where did you get the inspiration for that beat? How did that come about? How did that collage of sounds get together? It was produced really well.
I appreciate it. So for Weapons, around the time I was listening to a lot of Tune Yards. I was listening to a lot of Tune Yards around that time. Sometimes critics don't really see the Tune Yards comparison. I'm not saying that we're going to be like a Tune Yards knockoff, but I was listening to a lot of Tune Yards around the time. They're really big on being themselves, They're a fun band, and I was on my computer one day, and I had this little vocoder VST thing called the Mouth, and I was just messing around with it, and I just took my microphone and started singing in it, and like I can harmonize it and everything, and that thing just the ooh that came out, and I put some drums behind it. She came over to my house one day, and she just said, "And I feel it." I'm like, "Oh, this thing is amazing." Like, oh, this is gonna be. Oh man, you know, once that kick comes in and kicking and clapping and that little 808 that I put in there, the song's really simple. It's really stripped down and simple. You know, she's literally saying the same thing, both verses and hook, and it's like it's a very simple song. You know, but it feels like really amazing. I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk.
Yeah, no, I think it represents an important moment for us because it's kind of like we performed those couple songs, you know, as Camp Candle. I haven't listened to those songs in forever, and I'm fine with never hearing them again. But like, we were like, wait, we can really do this. Like, we had been making music before. Like, our first song we ever did together was from 2012, so it's not like it's new to us. But we were like, this is going to be us. This is something of our own. And you know, he was speaking on, you know, actually performing something that he belongs to and believes in, and how that's different for him. Also, I think one thing you didn't mention was freedom for you. You know what I mean? Like, you been doing, you know, mainly production for hip hop artists where it was just like, yo man, make me this beat, or this beat not hot enough, or you know what I mean, where it wasn't, you expressed yourself, but like that freedom wasn't there. Whereas this is just like, you know, he'll be like, what you think about this? And I'm like, what you think about that? You know what I mean? And it's just like, if I have suggestions, I'll make suggestions. You know, when it comes to production, you know, I'll sit there right there with him and I'll say, well, make it sound like this or do this. Most of the time, I'll just leave him alone. You know what I mean? I'm like, if you believe in it, I believe in it. You know what I mean? Same things. He doesn't really criticize me on my lyrics or melodies. You know, if there's an improvement, you know, we listen to each other and we'll make that improvement together. But like, you know, so when we did Weapons, we made quite a few songs before then too, that we haven't touched, like a Contu or whatever. That joint, we gotta find that joint. That joint was hot. But it was kind of like, you know, we were free. You know what I mean? Like that freedom for him to play around, like doing making music for other people, like the vocoder thing. Like they were like, "What you doing?" Like, no, this is ridiculous. Don't do this. But he did that. And like at first we were laughing and just having fun with it. We did a couple things that sound like Bjork, but then it just clicked. And it was just a freedom in the moment. And then I just got up and sang that, and it came so quickly. And that was probably the fastest we've ever done anything. Like, a song just came together. We did some clapping in there. Like, that song just came together so fast because we were just so free. And we're like, this is what this should be like. You know, when we were working together in someone else's workspace, you know, doing someone else's music, you know, we had fun on our own, but like, it was kind of like a box. So doing Weapons, you know, there's a feeling of freedom in that for me. You know what I mean? Like, we were just free. And it was so nice to see him and his talent, just him to do what he wants, you know what I mean? And not without fear of criticism. He'll ask me and I'm just like, just do you know what I mean? And it's it's a sense of freedom. And I don't know, that song, it still feels as good as it did the first time when we actually had it right. Like, yeah.
So you don't get off that easy, though. What was the lyrical inspiration behind Weapons?
So,
let's dissect that a little bit.
All right, so for Weapons, for me, I this is what I tend to say. It's the easiest thing for me to say.
I just want to say right now, I'm brutally upset that for whatever reason, and I've run into so many technical issues since doing this thing, but for whatever reason, I am not getting that shot of you saying this because I really want it. That was one of the things I've been looking forward to.
Well,
but
you could try.
Yeah, we're going to try.
You hold the camera.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Tell me, give me the lyrical inspiration behind
Weapons.
So
this is what my response is, that I don't. It's very, very seldom do I write songs on purpose. You know, I'm a very intuitive type of person, and I function that way when it comes to my music. You know, I tend to be very calculated in most areas of my life, except for music. That's where I can really go inside and just be. So when it comes to Camp Candle, you know, every song that we've done is never like, here's the lyrics, can you make up a soundscape for that? You know what I mean? Like, I want to experiment doing that with him, but it's really going off the vibe we create for each other. So typically what will happen is we'll go down, he'll either, you know, get a sample or he'll mess with some drums, and then we'll, you know, have a skeleton, and then I'll get up and sing a melody, or if he has a melody idea, he'll sing a melody, and then that's the lyrics come that way. Like, when I heard Weapons, I didn't go in and like, oh, I want to write this. It just comes. Like, that's what, like, I'll either mumble something or I'll come up with a lyric and then just build upon it. So with Weapons, like I said, I felt that freedom. So when and I feel it, I'm still shaking. The weapons are drawn against me. I can't take it. You know, for me, it's just like I feel whatever feeling this whole song is bringing forth, and it's just like it's just so overwhelming. I can't take it. But at the same time, it's like we're finally free. We're doing something that's important. But it's just like it's still, you know, the weapons, the criticism or the self-doubt or whatever the weapons. Like for me, music should be, there should be some level of ambiguity for people to make it whatever you want it to be. You know, if you want to make it a love song, that's on you. You can make it a love song for you. But for me, it's really about freedom. So those weapons that are drawn against me is just everything that's negative, you know, going against the feeling that I have right now. And I'm pushing towards the sun. I'm pushing towards the truth. It's just, you know, like I said, light is a big, I guess a big theme for what we're doing. We want to bring some light, you know, bring some joy, bring some truth. And yeah, it like you're asking for the inspiration. It's hard for me to answer because it really was just a moment. Like we did that song so quickly, and those lyrics were written like it wasn't out. There was no craft to it. You know, I took a songwriting class with Berkeley online with Pat Pattison, and he's very calculated. Like I didn't use any of his techniques. It was just I was inspired, and that's what came out. Like I literally just threw it up. So but it really is based off the feeling. So some of our songs, you know, a lot of times the lyrical content will match the vibe, and if it's the opposite, you know, that's also the same thing too, the same intuitiveness, because you know, like I said, I don't really write songs on purpose. Like, have we done a song? I don't think we've done a song where I sat and I was like, I want to write a song about this. That doesn't happen. Like, it's just like he'll come up with something or we'll come up with something together, and that's just what I'm feeling. Then I'll go off that theme. Or with the case of Weapons, it was just what we did with Weapons was just creativity in its purest moment. Because creatively, just experimenting with the vocoder from him, and then for me, just writing lyrics that might not have even made sense at that time, but it created a meaning for itself later on. So it was just me opening myself up and just letting it out. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That really is. That's awesome to be able to let that creativity flow, and then that's what came out. So who filmed the video?
We did. we did that for Weapons. Actually, for Weapons, you did most of the work on Weapons for that video. Yeah, I mean, we did it together. Yeah, we did it together, but you know.
I won't take credit for like anything that's like anything that we do collectively. It's like we did it together. You know, this is us. We did it together. So. Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, he'll say he's the producer. I'll say I'm the songwriter, but you know, it's a shared energy. You know what I mean? So it's not everything that we do business-wise. We split everything 50-50. You know, when we register our music through our, you know, our company. Through BMI, it's 50-50 on everything. So it's a shared experience. You know, we're putting in the same amount of energy, whether that's, you know, for some of the videos, I might have spent more time editing. For some, he might have spent more time editing, but it's still the same. It's the same energy. So we, yeah, so we do it. We are Camp Candle. We do this together, and it's a beautiful experience because there's no ego in this when it comes to what we're doing. There's, it really is. It's not like, oh, well, I did this or I did this. It's just like, no, like, It's a beautiful idea and experience that we're sharing together, and we're helping each other through. And it's very balanced, you know. Even if someone spent 9 hours on this and the other person spent 9 hours on that, on the opposite ends of the spectrum, what it brings to the table is so equally important to the big picture. We're doing the same work, you know. It might be a different color, but it's the same spectrum. So yeah.
So when we were talking about shows earlier, and you guys said, you know, we played the last one in November. One of the questions I have is it difficult to set up shows in Philadelphia? What is the process for that? Or
so yeah, I would say yeah, it's difficult to set up shows in Philadelphia for the simple fact that a lot of the booking agents and talent buyers are really buying a lot of talent from out of town. You know, when folks come through with their tours and things like that, you know, they'll kind of hop right on something that's either moving a certain way or they're like highly interested in. You know, the talent buyers here want to make sure that if we do book a show that we have at least, you know, 2 other acts, you know, performing with us so they can secure a crowd that night to, you know, make sure that they, you know, make whatever they need to make for that night, which is 100% cool. But, you know, at the same token, it's like it's a lot of unheard talent here in Philadelphia, and even with my friend Mars Parker, which we did a show before we did the Diana show, he opened up for us. Mars Parker It's like he does hip hop and rap, but it's his live show is really interesting. He has like a full band, and they have a lot of things going on. But if we hadn't have booked that Boot and Saddle, nobody would really know that Mars Parker had that. He opened up for um what is that guy's name? Mers or something like that.
Oh, all right, dope. Yeah, Mers.
Yeah,
of course.
out there and on Union Transfer. That was a few years ago, for him. So we just really want to be that catalyst. Like, we're expressing our creativity, and we want to make sure that through the medium that we have, we want to we want all our friends to be able to express their creativity and perform at these venues and things like that, and really just get that same feeling that we're getting. When we go perform at these venues and things like that, these reputable venues is like, this is the path that we need to be taking. I watch a lot of like the Dame Dash and like the early Rockefeller stuff. Like, I really appreciate Dame Dash's fire because he spoke about, when nobody was taking Jay-Z and Rockefeller serious, what they would do is they would go on the Chitlin circuit and they would book their own tour, they put their own money up, they did everything by themselves, and eventually people started to say, well, I want to work with these guys because, they're opening up so many doors for other people, and to my understanding, Rockefeller wasn't like they just sold the company, outright. When they merged with Def Jam, it was like a 50-50 type thing. I think they were with Priority before that. I think Reasonable Doubt came out on Priority. But, most importantly, it's still like it was a 50-50 thing, That's another aspect of Camp Candle too, not selling our creativity for short, and just giving everything away to somebody. I'm like, here, take my life with your hands. It's like, no, I don't want to do that.
So what about instead of what about like, are you guys only, are people only, are bands only interested in playing the shows at these well-known places? Is everybody like against performing at like, oh, let me find one of these dive bars and be like, yo, let me get in here? Oh.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of bands here in Philly are kind of anti-established. To my understanding, Philly's a large punk town. Yeah, it's a huge punk community here in Philadelphia, and I really understand the anti-establishment because it's a lot of things that go on, and people are kind of funny acting with the established things and stuff like that. I know a lot of places here in Philadelphia, even not even being dive bars, like there are like little art spaces that people perform at. A place that we performed at last summer was what is the where we do the poetry at?
Oh, Little Berlin.
Little Berlin, which is a art community. It's an art collective, and a lot of bands play there because they don't have to like put up any money or sell any tickets or anything like that.
Is that the way that it works here? I mean, you guys have to sell tickets, or you have to put up money to be able to play at the venue, or I mean, how does that?
Yeah,
What does that charge? What do they charge you for that? Like, how much do they charge you to do a show here?
So let's say, for instance, Joe Schmo's, dive bar, he would want maybe 20% of whatever tickets we sell. We sell 200 tickets. He wants 20% of that, which is not a really big percentage. If we're bringing out a lot of people, it's like, here, take your money. They have sound guys there, and they also put a bit of promotion in too. So it's like, it's pretty cool. But the places like Little Berlin, and I know everybody hits on like Girard Avenue. It's more of a community thing. It's not like there's some mysterious dude we're emailing like, hey, can we perform at so and so's bar? And he's emailing you back. You never meet this dude or whatever. It's not really like that. With the collectives. So.
And how long in advance do you guys have to go to like to how long in advance do you have to promote one of your shows? I mean,
I want to like at least have maybe 2 months. Yeah.
Wow, that far out, huh?
So we can have a big draw because I don't want to I don't want it to be a thing where it's like last minute. I hate like letting people know things last minute because everybody has like I can't make it or I got this and that to do. It's like if I give you 2 months in advance, like that's probably why we don't book shows like
all the time.
All the time.
That makes sense now.
you know.
So what's a big draw for you? That's a good question. What's a big draw for you? What's the
So yeah, our first show upstairs, Kung Fu Necktie. We had about 80 people up there. I think.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was a lot of people, and that was the first show that we did. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, Yeah.
Congratulations, man. That
Thank you.
deserves a congratulations. Your first show to sell it out. Congrats.
Thank you. It was a few folk that I would have liked to been that should have came out that night to see that, but they'll see the next show. It's like, all right, this is not like this is serious. Like we're actually taking this like really serious,
So here's a question that you and I were discussing earlier. What's the magic number? What's the number that will make you quit all other day jobs and do this full time? What is that number?
The magic number. So if I could quit if I can quit my day job today, and we just did Camp Candle, so you're talking about like, I guess sustaining my lifestyle, which is right now my lifestyle is paying bills and going out to eat twice a month. If I can make what I'm making now salary wise, or what I've made in the past salary wise with just doing Camp Candle, I'd be content with that. And that's not much. I know you and I were speaking about. You were saying if you could make $100,000 a year, you know what I mean?
Oh God,
that would be your. I would take 50.
And I would too. You
yeah,
know what you're saying?
I would take 50.
I would be happy with a teacher's salary if I could do whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But
And the freedom of the time and being able to. I guess the important part is being able to support our families. And like I was speaking to you about how I kind of wanted to. Not necessarily do some grassroots stuff, but just help empower people in my community, provide jobs, not just donating to charity, but like creating businesses or backing businesses. If I didn't make $50,000 with Camp Candle every year, if I even made half of that, you know what I mean? And I was able to put myself in a position where I can invest one time and make a good investment off that, and then continue to invest. And there's plenty of like Philadelphia is like I mean New York and LA, yes, I get it, but like I think there's more talented people in this city, than those places. There's so much talent here, and if we could take part in helping those people to find their footing and do what they need to do, whether it's with music or a cell phone business or anything like that, and I can invest in and help them with that. And make a little bit of my money back, and then sell them their whatever they need, the 10% or whatever I help start up with, and just feel good knowing that I just helped out an entire neighborhood, because that person is going to inspire other people in their neighborhood and give their cousin a job. You know what I mean? So it's a trickle down effect. But just as long as I can pay my bills, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. For me, like I need to be making like $2,500 a month in order for me to just be like. I mean, I'm not really working right now. I do have I have 3 children, and we just got a house and, property taxes and stuff like that. So I want to be $2,500 a month. I'll be cool, pay bills, we can go out shopping and stuff. And, my thing is I want to like create like partnerships. I want to, start LLCs and businesses and things like that. And
good for you. Make that happen.
Get real estate. I just want to do something that's like, going to secure my children, for the next however many generations. We want to be cool for, generations to come, because nobody really gave, me or my brother anything to kind of sit back on and chill with. We got to go out here and work. Not saying that's a bad thing, but it's like
playing music is so much more fun.
Yeah.
Even though it's something that we're passionate about and something that we enjoy and truly love, it's work. A lot of people, don't think musicianship is work. Whether it's us creating, him sitting there mixing, it's something like, I do like some solo stuff on my own, kind of some folk poppy stuff. And I will be the first to admit it is so lo-fi, because kill me. Mixing, kill me. I don't have the patience. But him sitting there mixing, he's not getting paid, to mix our music. He's not getting paid to master our music. Whether we're rehearsing or sitting there editing videos. I wish that I got paid for that at time put into editing our videos. You know what I mean? That's work. That takes brain power on top of, going to a job or two. You know what I mean? Even, we're both kind of, not working right now, but on top of just him taking care of his kids, you know what I mean? Me doing things for my mom. So on top of living regular day life, it's actual work, and we're not necessarily being compensated for as much of the work we're putting in. Like it's fun, but it's not just like, oh, I'm a musician. It's like, no, it's work. We got to schedule our time together and focus and get things done. We're, on a time frame, we're working with an indie label to, put out an EP, and, that's work, communicating back and forth and making sure things are right. And it's not just fun, it's work.
What
but
label?
It's something we enjoy.
And when is that happening?
With Manimal Vinyl, and I think they're looking at an April release now. Yeah, April release for our EP. Yeah, so the project we put out last summer, that was our mixtape called Air. But we're having EP. Our EP Light is coming in the spring. So
that is
with
awesome.
Manimal,
So
yep.
So tell me a little bit about that. How is this indie label going to help you guys? What are you guys getting, and what can we expect?
Yeah. So
how are they helping you? What are they doing to help you?
So you contacted them through Submit Hub, right? It's through Submit Hub, which has been a great tool. And they were interested. At first, it's going to just be a single release still, so we're going to put out a single with them. And then we kind of just picked 3 random songs, and sent it over to the AR guy, and he was just like, oh, I love these songs. I'd hate to break them up. Let's just do an EP deal now. So it's pretty much, they're going to be doing some of the marketing, distribution, and, we're keeping all of our publishing and everything like that. So it's really a partnership. We're not signed to the label. We're just working with them for this specific project. But, so the project is called Light, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
So I want to speak a little bit about Submit Hub, because Submit Hub is a very useful tool for folks who don't have the marketing dollars to really put out there for a single or project. It's a tool where you can have your single curated by different blogs and curators and tastemakers and things like that for let's say $5. You can submit it to X amount of blogs, and these are not like tiny blogs. Some of them are, I really love working with people who's going to work with us no matter what level they feel like they're on or whatever else. But there's the indie shuffles on there. There's the like the I think Burp FM's on there or something like that. These are reputable names and stuff like that. So they just started to do the label thing too, so that's how we found Manimal Records. And Manimal Records, Manimal Vinyl is based in L.A. Man by the name of Paul, he has worked with Warpaint. They released Warpaint's first EP. They worked with Bat for Lashes. They kind of co-released her first album, Fur and Gold. Worked with Yoko Ono and Duran Duran. I know he's like real good friends with Moby. Like they were on like Facebook Live, like playing guitar. I was like, oh snap, that's cool. So it's gonna be pretty cool working with them, Manimal, because Manimal just isn't Paul. He also has A&R and his is that his wife?
They're engaged, but she's the co-CEO. So when you say Paul, it's Paul and Natalia.
Yeah, Paul and Natalia. Yes. Manimal Records is Paul and Natalia, and they're helping us with the marketing. They'll be helping us with the marketing until I think the end of our contract is like 2020 or something like that.
Congratulations!
So
congratulations.
Well, it's not really even a contract. It's kind of like a memo. Like we'll be doing this until X amount of time. Also, we really appreciate Paul and Natalia because they're very well aware of what's going on in the world today. They're not out here trying to just take people's publishing or just trying to kind of jerk people over. They're well aware of politics. They're well aware of the economy. They're well aware of the rights of women, the rights of, black folk in America. They're well aware of, the rights of immigrants. And we really appreciate that. You don't necessarily find that with the music industry. A lot of people are into that thing where they want to subject women. They want to marginalize groups of people and things like that. Even if, it's our own people doing it to ourselves. It's like we're definitely not about that. But I really appreciate that with them because we couldn't have found a better group of people to work with, so.
That's awesome, man. So so you're going to have a spring release. It's going to be by Manimal Vinyl.
Yes.
Is it going to be out on vinyl?
Yeah. So right now, no, this is going to be digital, but that's something we can definitely hope to look forward to in the future is getting it out on some vinyl, getting it pressed. That would be awesome. But right now, it's going to be just a digital release.
And when is that coming out? When in spring is that coming out?
We don't have an official date yet, but it's going to be in April, like kind of when the peak of festival season starting to die down. It'll be a little bit easier for us to get out there and be like, hey, we're here. So
Right. Yeah. So I hope you keep us posted with that, with what's going on with there.
Absolutely.
Are you guys got any shows coming up? Is there anything that you guys have in the works right now?
Yeah,
that you want to promote.
Yeah, we're in the midst of booking quite a few shows for the spring. Well, we have March 23rd, right?
March 23rd.
Yeah, and a Bourbon and Branch with we're going to be doing an opening slot for Strange Parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to open up for them, and they're doing a show at Bourbon and Branch on March 23rd. Then we have the 31st or the 30th.
I think he changed it to the 6th.
The 6th of April.
Yeah.
6th of April. Okay.
And then
That's at the Fire, right?
Yeah. No. Wait. It's the 6th of April. That one's at the Fire. And then we had no. The 6th of April was out there in West Philly somewhere.
Okay. Oh, at the house show.
Yeah.
Okay.
At that one, and then we have one at the Fire. I think that's April 25th.
The Fire is April 21st.
21st.
April 21st is the Fire. So yeah, well, we'll have everything on the website.
That's awesome. So where do people go to find you?
So our website is www.wearecampcandle.com, and then we're on Facebook. If you do Facebook/Camp Candle, YouTube /Camp Candle, Twitter Camp Candle Music, Instagram Camp Candle. Pretty much you can Google Camp Candle or go to our website, and all of our links stem from there. But yeah, we're all over the interwebs.
That is so awesome. Hey guys, thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add? Anything that I may have missed?
I don't know. We're excited to do more shows, and I can't wait to see everybody and dance and have a good time and party.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all the homies. I'm joking, but yeah, much love to everybody that's been supporting Camp Candle. We really want to thank you for having us on the podcast because this is our first podcast, and I always want to hear myself on the microphone and stuff. I think I
hate the way I sound, but go ahead.
Sometimes when I'm in the house, I'm on the microphone, I wonder how I would sound on radio. I try to be do my best Tony Brown impression. I don't know if you guys know who Tony Brown is, but WDS. Tell everybody. Tell everybody blink their lights at 12 o'clock at night. The Quiet Storm.
The Quiet Storm. Oh my God, I haven't heard that since the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, man. Well, thank you both so much for coming in. Bringing us to Soy Cafe, right? That's where we're at. Thank you to Soy Cafe for hosting this madness. I appreciate that. And check us out, man. Check these guys out. Check out Camp Candle. You can find them campcandle.com, right?
We are Camp Candle.
We are campcandle.com, but Google search that, John. You'll find them. You know what I mean?
Google search that, John. Yeah, I think the easiest way to find our stuff is you do Camp Candle and then WXPN.
All right, that's right, because you guys did that appearance at WX, what?
PN.
WXPN, right?
Yeah,
All right, awesome. So that's going to close it for us, man. Thanks a lot again. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I really hope to check out one of you guys' shows, man. I hope these guys come out to go check out your shows. So enjoy, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, this is so cool. Thank you for